Alrighty, my friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at some ideas playing over a blues. We're going to use East Nash Grass's version of Papa's on the Housetop. Now this is like an old blues tune, and so I wanted to show you some kind of blues ideas on the mandolin using this song as a template. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play this recording. It's fantastic. I can't teach you how to play the break that I forget the mandolin player in East Nash Grass's name. Let me get his name. But he's fantastic. I can't teach you this break. I haven't learned this break. I love what he does in it. Mark my words, I will learn it. But I can teach you some ideas that you can use nonetheless. And what I like doing is I like taking a song and just figuring out ideas, on that song that you can use across the board, just ideas on the mandolin. So we're going to do that today. Nothing too specific, but things that you can use, and ideas that you can, put on different things. So let's take a listen to this tune. Papa's on the Housetop. By the way, this is an E flat. So if you're doing a chop chord, your first finger's at the 5th fret kind of thing. And I'll teach you some chords and stuff in case you don't know some of these, just chop chords. Like we've got, if this is our 1, we've got 1, 4 is A flat, and 5 is B flat. And there's we'll teach you different double stops and 7th chords and things like that along the way. But I'm just going to kind of noodle over top a little bit and kind of talk as we're listening. You can go to a 7 here. Then a break. Listen to this break. That's too good. You can go up here. Yeah. These little triplets he does. Take it. That's too cool. Okay, so let's look at some ideas on a blues here, things that you can play, just little licks and stuff like that. So if we're in E flat, think of like the D string, and 1 fret up from the D string is E flat. So you have a root here. And what you want to do a lot of times, you want to find your octaves. So you got a root here and a root there. And forgive my A string, it's hard to keep it in tune right now. But I'm going to try my best. But we've got a root here, and we've got a root there. Let me do one little tweak here. That's hard to get that right. I find if it's in tune open, it's not in tune up on the frets. Anyway, that's pretty close. So we've got a root here, we've got a root here. Now, this is a lick that I've taught in other videos, is if you have your root there, and you slide to the major third, back to the root, and you go 6, 5, root. So something like this. So those are the notes, and you can kind of order those however you want. But if you get like a 16th note flow, and pick different parts of that lick, you can get a lot of mileage out of that little pattern, and you can also learn how to put that over the 1, 4, and 5. So like that pattern over the 1. Over the 4, you could slide it up to here. Where would it be? Right there. And then over the 5. So learn how to put that kind of sound over the 1, 4, and 5, because that's a blues. So for example, if I put this on Strum Machine, when they play a break in at least the East Nash Grass version there, they do it kind of like this. So let me slow this down. I put this band settings to like a jazz type of thing, and it sounds like this. So let me talk a little bit about this. So we've got a 1. And then a 4. And for the 5, you could put it up 2 frets. Or you could go up here. Same type of lick. So 1, 4, 5, 1. That's not the most efficient way to go from 1 to 4 to 5, but it's, you know, it's the idea that you can take the same shape, put it over the 1, 4, 5, and, you know, you could practice like that. Like, for example, I could do... practice. So let me teach you how to connect some of these ideas. So we have that idea over the 1. And over the 4, this is a little trick you can use. Over the 4 chord, which in this case is the A flat, the 1, you know, the 1 of the key, which is E flat, is in the 4 chord. So anytime you go to a 4 chord and you're soloing, you can use the 1, the note of the 1. Like, for example, if we're in the key of E flat, A flat is the 4, so you can still you can hang on the E flat because it's in the A flat chord. And something that I'll do often, kind of just as a go-to, is when it goes to the 4 chord, I'll think, here's the 1. I can do 1, 2, and minor 3, this kind of pattern. And that type of pattern really works well over the 4 chord. I could give you the reasons why. You could also just know that that works over the 4 chord. When you're going to the 4 chord, if you start on the 1, you do 1, 2, minor 3, that works over the 4. So I'll give you an example of that. Check it out. I'll just do that over the 4 chord. So here's the 1. Over the 4, check it. 1. And I'll show you the chords as I'm going here. So here's my 1 lick. Here's my 4 lick. one lick. 5. And when I'm on that 5, I'm doing the same lick as I was doing on the 1, but in the middle of the 5 chord, like for example, the second half of the 5 chord, I'll go back to doing a lick on the 1 chord, because when it lands on the 1 chord, it'll sound like it resolves nicely. So I'll try to say what I'm doing. So 1 chord lick, 1 chord lick, 4 chord lick, 1 chord lick, 5 lick, go back to the 1, and then it resolves nice. So 4, 1, 5, go back to the 1 early. Again. And then you can just kind of practice doing licks while going back to that 1 chord early so that it resolves nicely. And you can just work on, let's say like these are your notes. You can go, what kind of different rhythms can I do? You can play, different note durations. So let me do a version where I play really slower note durations. So something like this. 5. So I can just play downstrokes. Then I can play down and up. So I can practice, different ideas using those ideas. Now I'll give you a couple other ones here.